Thank you very much, Keith. As always, I appreciate everything that you do. Today, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about doing a little bit of the right things each and every day. As most of you have heard me say, I absolutely believe that you can have success beyond your wildest imagination by focusing on your business for just 5 to 10 hours per week. Having said that, let me be very clear that those 5 to 10 hours per week need to be focused and results oriented, what I call doing a little bit of the right things each and every day. We need to be disciplined and accountable to make certain that our actions each day have a direct impact on the growth of our business and team. In order to be disciplined and accountable, we need to have a system, plan, or routine, a system, plan, or routine that will keep us on the right path and act as a safety net and reinforcement when we experience short periods of difficulty. Only when all of us, as a team, do just a little bit of the right things each and every day will we be able to experience true leverage, benefiting a little from the efforts of many. This is the essence of network marketing. As leaders, we need to be very guarded against allowing ourselves to get into what I call the management mode. This is an easy trap to fall into, thinking that we are growing our business and doing the right things when we are really engaged in busy work and in fact providing a bad example for others to follow. If it does not have a direct positive impact on recruiting and growing our business and team, it is in most cases probably the wrong activity. And as your team looks at you for leadership, it's easy for your team to say, hey, my leader is not recruiting. Why should I? You must set and lead by example. I believe a team will only move as fast as its leaders. We spent 2 Saturdays ago talking about why power. It is so very important for you to understand your personal whys so that you can be motivated and disciplined and do a little bit of the right things each and every day. When you first ask people for their whys, the typical or quick response is they want more money. I believe it has to go deeper than that. If it's just for the money, at the first sign of adversity, it is much too easy to quit. Think about how many people struggle financially and yet do nothing to improve their situation. Many people are very used to struggling financially, so when the going gets a bit tough, it is easy to quit and go back to a situation that is familiar. What I call being busy, being broke. Only when you discover your deeper and true why will you be able to persevere and succeed. The quick response for most people is money because they know financial independence will allow them to achieve what they are really looking for. It's not so much the money itself, but what that money represents. For most, even if they don't realize it, it comes down to time freedom. Having the time to do the things they want to do without being limited by financial considerations. Let me be clear that it is not all about bigger houses and faster cars, exotic travel, designer clothing, or caviar. It is about having the time to create better relationships, to be better parents, better spouses, better citizens by impacting people in a positive manner. Money may keep you up at night, but it is really what the lack of money is preventing you from doing that is the root of your sleepless nights. It's great to take a quiet moment and discover our own whys, but it is just as important to constantly revisit and reinforce our whys so that they can be used as motivation and so that they will pilot us and make sure that we're traveling in the right direction. One of the traps that people fall into so very easily is the trap of getting ready to get ready. There will never be a time where everything is finally perfect and the timing is perfect to take action. It's an excuse and crutch people use to let themselves off the hook for not doing a little bit of the right things each and every day, for not doing the only things that have a direct impact on growing their business and teams. If we know that there will never be a perfect time to get started, when is the second best time to get started? The answer is simple: now. Take action and take action now. I promise you, once you start taking action, it gets easier each and every day. It is vital that the actions you take are filtered through a lens of, will this have a direct impact on the growth of my business and team? Don't mistake that busy work for action. Reorganizing your desk is not taking action that has direct impact on growing your business and team. Entering phone numbers into your cell phone is not taking action, but getting ready to get ready. Creating files and sorting emails is not taking action, but getting ready to get ready. Making lists of people to call is not taking action, it's just busy work. Yes, performing those tasks may be helpful, but too many fall into the trap of never getting beyond the busy work, never getting beyond the getting ready to get ready. Lastly, you must stop blaming others, the systems, or circumstances for your lack of success. You need to take personal responsibility. There is a reason why two people facing the same obstacles will undoubtedly have two greatly different results. Put in a different way, if you shoot 10 arrows at a target and they all miss, you have to consider the fact that maybe it's not the arrow, but rather the Indian. Only you can change your future. As many of you know, I'm a big fan of Jim Rohn, and I think he has some masterful insights, not only into business, but into life. So what I'd like to do is take and show you about an 8 or 9 minute kind of excerpt from a talk that he did, and I'm going to assume that this talk was done probably upwards of 30 years ago. But his philosophies and his take on how we approach life, I think, has great merit and certainly has passed the test of time. So give me just 1 second while I switch over.
Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity, accepting full responsibility. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood, the day you accept full responsibility. And another note, learn to reap in the fall without apology. Without apology if you do well, and without complaint if you don't. That's maturity. I used to have that long list of reasons why I wasn't doing well. To explain. You got to explain, right? Otherwise you're going to look bad. I used to have this funny list called Reasons for Not Looking Good. I used to blame the government. I mean, you can believe that or not. It was at the top of my list. I had a lecture second to none. The government. That was on my list. I used to blame taxes. Look what you got left after they take everything. And they expect you to do well. That was on my list there. Prices, that one's easy, right? You walk into the supermarket with $20, come out with a little half bag. So I had that on my list. I used to blame the weather. I blamed the traffic. I used to blame my car. I blamed the manufacturers. I used to blame the company. I blamed company policy. I used to blame the training program. I blamed my negative relatives. They were always putting me down. I blame my cynical neighbors. They're just selfish, looking out for themselves. Won't loan you money? They were on my list. I used to blame the economy. I blamed the community. That's a pretty good list for not doing well, isn't it? I thought it was good. I'll never forget one day Mr. Schoaf is very kind, but he was also very blunt, and this was no exception. And I'm glad he was blunt. There's a lot of things I'd have missed if he hadn't have been blunt. One day, with sort of a curious look on his face, he said, "Jim, just out of curiosity, tell me, how come you haven't done well up until now?" Excellent question. I thought, well, so I won't look too bad, I'll go through my list. And this list I just gave you, I put that on him. And he was very patient. He let me go through the whole thing, the government, the weather. I went through this whole thing. When I finished, he looked my list over very carefully. He said, "Mr. Rohn, big problem with your list. You ain't on it." How brilliant. When I went to work for him a few months later, I learned very quickly to tear up my list, reasons for not doing well, and I threw it away. And I got me a fresh piece of paper. And I put one word on it. Me. There's a Black Heritage spiritual that says, "It's not my mother nor my father, nor my brother nor my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer." See, I used to blame everything outside. And then let me give you a little philosophy that helped turn my life around. For your notes, here it is. It's not what happens that determines the quality or the quantity of your life. It's not what happens. And the reason is because what happens happens to about everybody. No different. The sun went down on all of us last night. A common event, a happening. And I found out that the same things can happen to two different people. One gets rich and one stays poor. Why is that? It's because it's not what happens, but rather it's what you do that changes everything. So that's a key phrase. It's not what happens, it's what you do. What happens is about the same. You might put that in parentheses here. Same. What people do, that's what's different. Anything can happen, right? Everything can happen. I've heard all the stories. I've been one of the stories. Hey, we could all tell stories all night long, right? Happenings. Anything can happen. Have you heard of Murphy's Laws? Anybody here heard of Murphy's Laws? Okay, most of you have. Murph had these laws. One of them was, if anything can go wrong, it will. That's one of Murphy's Laws. He was not one of the great positive speakers of the day. But anyway, it's still true though, right? Anything can go wrong, everything can go wrong. For sure. I've fallen out of the sky so many times. Once to the tune of a couple of million. Devastating. Took me a while to survive that one. Now, it wasn't all that much, but it was all I had. Right? I mean, that's when it's much, right? When it's all you got. If you got 3, 2 go, you got 1 left, you ain't looking that bad. But when it all goes. Has anybody been there when it all went? Anybody? Come on, the rest of you liars. Go ahead. Hey, we've all been there, right? When it all went. Of course, it used to be a long time ago, right? When you ran out of money, got to 0, you were all through. Heck, now you can whistle right on by 0, right? I mean, they will bury you. That's what they will do. But see, those are the happenings, right? Everything can happen. Anything can happen. But it's not the happenings. It's what you do about it. Somebody says, yeah, but you don't understand the disappointments I've had. Come on. Everybody's had their share. Disappointments are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The difference is what you do about them. It's not the weather. I used to blame the weather, and I discovered it rains on the rich. So see, that won't help. 2 men wake up one morning, there's a rainstorm on. One of them looks out his window, sees the rainstorm, and he says, wow, what a storm. With weather like this, they can't expect you to go out and make sales. He stays home. Same morning, The other guy looks out his window, sees the same storm, says, "Wow, what a storm." But he says, "You know what, with weather like this, what a great day to go out and make sales. Most everybody will probably be home, especially the salesman." See, that's the difference in how your life works out. It's not what happens, it's what you do. So here's one of the key questions of the evening. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's going to be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are going to be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your whole life. What can you do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Good question. What can you do with economic chaos, massive disappointment? What can you do with a broken heart? What can you do when it won't work? Good question.
All right. Absolutely fantastic. I love Jim Rohn, and I think he has some phenomenal insight, not only to our industry, but certainly in life in general. So let's take a look at some of those things, some of the doing a little bit of the right things each and every day. I absolutely believe that our business and industry is as much about self-development as it is about anything else. We need to be constantly improving our skill sets, mindsets, and become better not only in our own abilities, but become a better person. To that end, we need to expose and fuel our minds to improve ourselves. Today, information is so much easier to obtain than ever before. Books, CDs, DVDs, the internet, YouTube, and many other sources ensure that we can access virtually an unlimited amount of information, an amount unlimited to what we desire. It is vital that you spend time each week, each day improving yourself. Make it a habit and discipline to listen or read 30 minutes a day. You'll be amazed at the transformation you will experience when you feed your mind with the right type of fuel. Much like a high-performance engine, the better the fuel, the better it runs. Like a computer, the better the software, the better it runs. Let's talk about direct recruiting activities. You need to be exposing your opportunity and story and invitation to new people each and every day. It has to become almost second nature. In order to do that, you must set goals. Set a goal for now, set a goal for how many people you want to share your story and invitation with each and every day and each and every week. Once you have established your goal, you must have the determination and discipline to meet that goal or target. Accept no excuses for falling short. This is your lifeline to reach financial independence and true time freedom. You must believe that failure is not an option. You must keep track of that activity. I say that for 2 reasons. First, by actually tracking how many people you share your story and invitation with, you may be very surprised and may be shocked by how few people you actually speak with about becoming a business partner. For many, I guarantee it will be an eye-opening experience and maybe even a little unpleasant, but you have to know. You have to know that you may not be doing enough of the one thing that will allow you to have success. Secondly, by tracking your activity, you will be able to establish and calculate a success ratio. A ratio of how many people you need to share your story and invitation with to achieve the growth number you are looking for. Remember that in the beginning, your conversion rate may be a little lower, and that's okay because you can overcome a lower conversion ratio by sheer numbers. If at the beginning it takes sharing your story and invitation with 5 people to convert one, and your goal is to convert 2 a week, you know that you need to share and invite 10 people to become your business partner. The good news is that as you do something over and over, you become better, more efficient, and so will your conversion ratio, meaning it will improve. Communication. Daily communication is vital. This is an area that I know everyone can be better at. I am a firm believer that you need to have direct communications with your sponsor or your new recruit virtually each and every day for the first 90 days of a new recruit's experience. And I do not mean the indirect communication that we are all moving towards with emails and texting and chats. I mean good old-fashioned phone calls. It is too easy to miss the nuances when we're using any other form of communication. The frequency must be there to protect and nurture your new recruit. I see far too many sponsors refer a new recruit and then think their job is done and expect their recruit to understand what they need to do and to develop and become effective by magic, by osmosis maybe, by ESP, even maybe by thinking that the new recruit can use the force. Shame on all of us for allowing that to happen. Our new recruits deserve better than that, and we need to be better leaders. The calls do not need to be elaborate or lengthy. It can, in fact, just be as simple as checking in and saying hello. Simple recognitions and celebrations of doing a little bit of the right things each and every day. But that constant contact needs to be there so that people do not end up feeling like a lone island in a vast ocean. Engaging and participating. As part of self-development and being a leader, everyone needs to engage and participate in meetings, conference calls, webinars, and trainings. It will be to your benefit and growth, but much more importantly, your team is looking at you and your behavior and will mirror what you do. You must set the right example and be committed to leading from the front. Certainly, there are many more things that we need to do each and every day, and we will address those in future trainings. But if you focus on the items we just talked about, you will see a marked improvement almost immediately. Having the right mindset. We have what I believe is the greatest opportunity to impact other people in a positive manner. The ability to help others improve their current situation and future. We have to internalize this belief. You have to absolutely believe and know that you have the power to help and to serve others. That belief is also a development process. Each and every day that you are doing a little bit of the right things, your belief system will grow. As your belief system begins to grow, you will find that it becomes easier and becomes a matter of greater importance that you share your opportunity and invitation with others. You will begin to realize that you have a duty and responsibility to share, to help people begin to narrow that gap between the life they are living today and the life they once imagined. I believe with conviction that if we all help enough people find what they need and want, what we need and want will find us. So let's talk about some of the reasons to be proud and optimistic about sharing our business with others. We have the only entrepreneurial home business with no upside limits and no serious downside risks. We can create true time freedom that goes hand in hand with the wealth and prosperity we achieve. By working diligently in the beginning, we can ultimately live a stress-free life. And isn't it better to trade in the traditional 40-year plan for maybe a 4-year or even a 4-month plan? Recognition and travel await all of us who are successful in building a network organization. And in our industry, recognition is derived from things in life that truly matter, such as helping people make their lives work and be better. I promise you that if you spend the 5 to 10 hours a week doing a little bit of the right things each and every day, you will achieve success beyond your wildest imagination. Begin that journey by taking the first step each and every day. It will and does become easier and better and more fun each and every day. I challenge you now to go out and to begin to live the life you once imagined. With that, I want to once again congratulate all of you for joining us on a Saturday. And let's make sure we go out and reach out to people and make their lives better in this upcoming week. Stay tuned for more announcements, and we'll be right back here in just 2 weeks. Thanks again, Keith, for all you do, and everyone have a phenomenal Saturday.